It is showtime. Last minute betting. The Sports Nuts is here, presented by OddsJam. You're wondering, well, you just said nuts. There's only one of you. Well, right now there's only one. I will have one more nut joining me in a few. Unfortunately, Bob won't be here tonight. So you'll have to do without the nuttiest of the nuts tonight, and that's Bob. But let's get to it. Click those links below. Get in every sports book you can get in your state. OddsJam Partner Program. Share those links below. Generate up to 20% of any revenue generated from you sharing those links. Live chat is available. Like and subscribe, y'all. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. We are going to continue to pump out content, getting a game plan together and figuring out exactly what we're going to do with the content. But we've got lots of ideas, so be posted on that and fill out that form in the description below. Get a personal one-on-one tutorial on how you can make $2,500 plus per month sports betting. Get a hold of me at mike@oddsjam.com. Discord link, easy for you to say. Discord link below. Paid picks, free picks, jump into that. And, of course, the OddsJam Player Prop mobile app, a way to make your sports betting a lot easier. Well, your player prop betting, I should say, in particular. Andre Singer is in the house. What's up, Mike? What is up, Andre? Thank you for joining me. And before we recap here and we get started, I'm going to take a sip of some nice Dr. Pepper. So good. What do we have to recap, right? Well, the Cubbies, the Chicago Cubs, and word on the street is, this is the word on the street, the morning coffee boys and girls ended up coming up with a winner in that game, they say. So they got a win there, and guess who else got a win in that game, y'all? Me. I did a positive EV betting video earlier, and that is right. You heard it. I got a win out of that Cubbies game on their team total. I got Steve in the building joining me. What is up, Steve?
What's up?
What is happening, Glenn? Yes, Cubs, baby. I had the over 4.5 total runs for them. Brewers had a horrendous pitcher on the mound. So I definitely liked that bet. So glad that came through for everybody. Andre says, so forgive me because I haven't been on the show in a while, but are y'all not doing the early show anymore? We haven't been, but we probably could bring that back if truth be told. So Andre, stay posted because you got to remember, we're going to have a lot of football. We got preseason football. We're going to have Thursday night football. Would be very nice to come on a halftime show, right? During Thursday night football and all that good stuff. So very, very possible we'll be bringing back and reviving early betting. So our recap is just that. Cubbies win 8-7, poured it on the Brewers, got 8 runs, gave up some themselves, but that is all right. Nothing else happening yet in the MLB. We've got not one, not two, Steve, but 3 preseason football games tonight. And I think we've got to jump into that first. Steve, what do you got? What are you looking at? What game in particular are we looking at here?
So, last week we really liked the Panthers because of the QB rotation. They have Baker and Darnold, and then PJ Walker, who played in the XFL, and then, Matt Corral from where did he go? Ole Miss. Yeah. The rookie. But the thing is, and actually Carolina opened the small favorite, but money was coming in against New England. And long story short, now it's plus 6.5 Pats. Darnold and Baker are both out. It's going to be mostly just a complete evaluation game for the Panthers, all second and third stringers. And Mac Jones is going to play about a quarter. That said, I don't care. I think it's still way too many points to be given up in the preseason. So I like Carolina plus 6.5. I bet them on the money line earlier in the week at minus odds. So obviously awful CLV there. Now, I made 3 bets, and 2 of them went my way, but that one went way against me. Obviously, I mean, I don't really like the money line now, although why not? I think, we have more information now, and I certainly wouldn't play Carolina first half, but I think in the second half, they can certainly, do well with garbage time and win this game, if not come close. So I have them on the money line. Unfortunately, I can't buy out because I bet it on offshore. And so I got to roll with it. But, I would say if you're looking to place a bet, I would put 1 unit on Carolina plus 6.5.
Yes. Agreed with that.
Yeah. And then I guess real quick, other games, I like Green Bay money line for 1 unit, and I like the under in the last game because the Rams have historically been just a dead under team under McVay. He doesn't care about the preseason whatsoever, but they brought in that Bryce Perkins from Virginia, and he went off last game, but he's not going to play as much tonight. I think that's just going to be a bunch of running. All of these totals got inflated after last week, 38.5. That's a ton for preseason. I'd be shocked if the Rams score over 14 tonight. So those are my 3 plays. Panthers 6.5, Packers money line, and under in the Rams Texans.
Awesome. So let's share real quick my screen and let's jump into what's going on in these games in terms of where our best value is right now. So as you can see, the Packers on the money line have some positive expected value as we speak. Is it a little juiced? Sure. But I mean, like we said, why not take minus 170?
Yeah. I actually got it at minus 145 earlier. Yeah. That really has gone up. I mean, 170, that's about as high as I would go. Minus 150, I have no problem with. 150 and below, I don't really care.
Sure.
Didn't work out last night. But yeah, I mean, we can touch on that real quick. Seahawks looked absolutely horrendous. I mean, their first unit played for 3 quarters, and they were pretty much dominated by the Bears' second string. And the Bears are going to be one of the worst teams. So that doesn't say much about the Seahawks. That was an eye-opening. Now, granted, they had a bunch of penalties, just stupid mistakes, and pretty much everything that could have went wrong did go wrong in that game. Gave up a muffed punt touchdown, gave up a kick return touchdown. But the fact of the matter remains, Seahawks are not looking like a bet-on team. So,
yeah. No, I agree with that. I don't think we want to touch them at all. And definitely when it comes to the regular season, we're not looking at them a whole lot either. So let's look at this Panthers-Patriots. We're going to look at the point spread here. And as we mentioned, you've got the Patriots right now minus 6.5. The best you're going to get on that is minus 105 on a few books. No OddsJam perfect line on the 6.5 for the Patriots or the plus 6.5 for the Panthers to give us any indication, but minus 110 or minus 105 is what you can get those at as well. Steve, what about this minus 6 or plus 6?
Yeah, I mean, I would take plus 6. I mean, to me, I think they're either going to win the game or they're going to lose by margin, right? So I don't think the points probably even really matter, but especially like when it opened at like plus 1.5, like that's pretty much a dead number. But now that it's 6, that opens the door for a backdoor touchdown to maybe push, or if you lose by 3, you win with the points. So in the preseason, like 6.5 is not really a key number. 7 is not really a key number because teams aren't playing to necessarily win. They're definitely not playing for overtime because overtime actually no longer exists. People, I don't even think some coaches know that because like some coaches are like going for 2 early, thinking like, well, obviously we don't want to have preseason and overtime. Why would you? But there is no overtime. I mean, so if the game ends, it's just a tie. So my point is, 6.5 or 6, it's pretty much the same.
Same thing. Yeah. Rams and Texans, and your bet for this was going to be on the money line, right?
No, the under.
The under. Yeah. Okay, so total points. We'll go to this right now, and let's see. So the under 38.5.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually a somewhat valuable bet odds wise because you're getting the extra half a point. And that half a point could be big. If it's 17-21, it would be a push, but you would win. And like that's like the absolute ceiling for me is like 17-21. Like, if there were 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns in this game, I'd be very surprised. Or I guess there'll be 5. But yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be probably 5 touchdowns maximum in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a safe bet as well. No doubt about it. We're going to go to the positive EV page real quick. Before I do that, I'm going to go to my bet trackers so we can take a look at what we had happening. Okay, so here we go. The Cubs Brewers game. We had the over 9.5. I believe Morning Coffee said they had that as well. And then we had the team total over 4.5. Both bets won. Let's hope that Cron comes through on his over player bases, but no matter what, we were able to not only beat the closing line value on these 2 bets that we had today, but we were able to win them as well. So we have profited. We've guaranteed ourselves right now that we're going to have made money on those positive EV bets. I'm going to go to the positive EV page right now and see what we've got going on. I'm going to go to the filters, the recommended filters. As I have showed you, these are probably your more winnable bets. A Sandoval on an under strikeouts in this Angels-Tigers game. I don't know. I don't know that I want to touch that being that the Tigers are such a bad team. I know they don't necessarily strike out a ton, but I'm going to stay away from that. We've got an NRFI in this Padres Nationals game. I actually, and let me make sure I'm right on who they've got on the mound. Man, nope. Cannot touch that one either. Just not about it. Aaron Nola on his over strikeouts. I think I like that one.
Yeah. What do you think of the Phillies?
I would have to say that's the game I was thinking about, and the Phillies Mets game was an NR. I mean, I definitely would look at an NRFI maybe in that with Nola and Bassett on the mound, but I got to be honest. I think the Phillies got a shot at winning this game. I mean, you look at the Mets and you figure, things have. I mean,
Mets just swept them, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, they salvaged the game. They lost. They won one game against Atlanta. It was in Atlanta, but now you're going to Philly. The Phillies are getting a little desperate too, so they're in the wild card race. So I kind of want to go with the team who needs it more in these cases. And with Nola on the mound, I think this is a good shot for the Phillies because looking at tomorrow, the pitching matchup, what we assume it's going to be. This is a great opportunity with Wheeler going for the Phillies tomorrow against Williams. I think the Phillies got a shot to win this series the way it's all set up. So I would really be looking at the Phillies, I think, in this game potentially.
Yeah, I like them. I did a parlay and I put them on. I've had, a little bit of success with that. With the MLB parlays, just to, like, I've shared them in the groups chats. Like, when they hit, they're usually at least 3 to 5 to 1. And, so if you hit 1 out of every 5, you're breaking even. So, it's just something I just do, to try to get a little extra money in the off season because I'm not betting baseball game by game. So if anything, I'll take some value shots.
And look, I mean, the Mets obviously they're a really good team. They're an extremely consistent team. They're not bad on the road. Their road record this year is 36-24. Obviously, they're 40-19 at home, so they're very good at home. When you look at the Phillies, they're about even. It doesn't matter home or road. There's no big. I mean, they're 32-26 at home, and they're 33-26 on the road. So it doesn't really matter where the Phillies play. There's really no advantage or disadvantage there. They're pretty even across the board there. So when you get teams like that, especially when you're in a late season playoff race, I kind of like those teams that are consistent on the road. And when you look at the Phillies, they kind of remind me how the Cardinals were last year, where the Cardinals They were good at home and they were good on the road. They were about equal, and they got on a hot streak because of that. So I think the Phillies could have potential here down the stretch to really make some noise. And with the Mets struggling right now, especially that terrible series against Atlanta, it's there for the taking, and the pitching matchups are there. I'm also going to roll tonight with the Reds on the money line. I don't think there's any doubt playing a bad Pittsburgh team. Wilson's pitching for the Pirates, and Ashcraft's going for the Reds. I mean, that's pretty well the Reds' most consistent pitcher. So I'm definitely taking them on the money line. White Sox Guardians, I've got to play in this because if you take away the first month of April, the White Sox won 3 games against them in the first month of the season. But ever since then, these two teams have split evenly every series. And I think I want to go with the plus odds. I think I want to go with the White Sox on the money line. They lost a couple in a row there. I know they got blown out 21-5 last night, right? I expect them to bounce back tonight. I mean, I think they'll play better because they got smoked so bad last night against Houston, and they still won 2 games that series. So I like the plus odds for the White Sox there. And then the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm going back to them on the run line, and the reason why, they've got the toughest strength of schedule remaining. They cannot afford to lose to a team like the Royals. And they didn't last night. They came through. They've got their ace on the mound tonight. The Royals have one of their better pitchers going, yes, but the Royals are a bad team. If you're the Tampa Bay Rays, you're in the thick of a wild card race right now. You can't afford to lose to bad teams. Can't, especially with the brutal schedule they have left. I'm going to trust that they get the job done on the run line tonight at home against Kansas City. And that's all I got for MLB. That is all I've got for MLB. Let's get to the comments real quick and see what we got going on. Andre, also, when do y'all get banned? I don't know what happened there exactly. We're still trying to figure that out, Andre. Matt Jones says, I am riding some Canadian football tonight. Yes, and I hope you guys tuned into Randall's videos. I saw he had a couple of videos up on the CFL recently. So
yeah, and actually that's my other bet tonight. I bet every single one of Randall's CFLs for 2 units. So you got Rough Riders tonight plus 4.5. So
awesome.
That's another good play.
Yes. Yep. Mac is tailing. I am sure he is tailing Randall's CFL as well. So definitely got to be doing that. And we got a lot of football left, here for preseason, or at least tomorrow. You look, we got a packed slate tomorrow. Steve, how many games do we have tomorrow? Is it 10? 8?
Oh yeah,
8 games tomorrow.
8 games. Yeah, we got a ton. Yeah.
Yes. Is there any game tomorrow that you're looking at that you're considering?
Yeah, so I actually I bet a few. So tomorrow, what do we got? Yeah, so tomorrow we got Lions at Colts. That's probably my favorite play. Got Lions on the money line at minus 100, or even money essentially. When that came out, they're minus 3 now. I still like it. They're going to be playing their starters. So teams, it's weird because preseason, when it was 4 weeks, week 1 would always be starters for a few series, get their feet wet. Week 2 would be backups. Week 3 would be the dress rehearsal. Then week 4 would be all backups. Starters would never play. But now that it's only 3 weeks, some teams are playing the starters as the dress rehearsal week 2, and some are still doing week 3. So you have to be careful and see, how long are the starters playing in each. But the starters are going to be playing in the Lions game, not in the Colts game. So I like them a lot there. And then again, I touched on it last week, but the Lions, their quarterback rotation, Goff, Blow, and the second string guy. But all those guys have been in the system for over 4 years. All of them have played in real snaps in actual NFL games. So they're very veteran. Like them a lot. Pittsburgh against the Jags, that line was all over the place. It opened as a pick 'em. It went as high as Jags plus or Steelers +4. Now it's back to 2.5. I got them at 3.5. I like them on the money line. Steelers again, same situation. The Jags are going to be playing their starters for the first half, but who cares? Their starters suck compared to the Steelers. The Steelers have arguably the best QB rotation in Trubisky, who's started a ton of games, and he's poised to be the starter. Then you have Mason Rudolph, who started every game last year, is extremely familiar with the system. And then you have, Kenny Pickett, who looked great in his first game. He's very mobile. And, he's still playing, for potentially getting the starting job. Like, Trubisky's not officially the starter. So, this game is going to determine it. If Pickett can go out and absolutely light it up, maybe they can do it. So I really like the Steelers in the second half because, their QB rotation is a huge advantage. And I think their depth's better as well. But I'm just playing them full game plus 3.5. And then, that was the only bets that I made. The Bills, they've never lost under their new coach. Obviously Ravens, they're playing Sunday, but they're on a 21-game win streak. So I think Ravens, Bills money line, it's a pretty good parlay as well. I'll probably end up playing that. So those are what I'm looking at.
Awesome. And Boyle, that was the other quarterback.
Boyle, exactly.
Yes.
Boyle.
Andre, when we'll close with this, he says, Steve, you got your picks for UFC 278.
Oh man, my UFC hasn't been great the past few weeks. I've been running a little cold in the UFC. I got to get back to the UFC Steve moniker.
Yes.
No, but you know what? Like the card last week sucked, and I sort of just forced some stuff because I wanted to watch it, which is obviously a very stupid thing to do. I ended up not paying off. Although I did have Marlon Vera in the main event, but yeah, the thing is like. A lot of these cards, they're not great, but there's just a lot of heavily juiced guys who I like to win. But obviously, there's zero value in betting them individually. And even in UFC, if I love a fighter, I'm never going to lay minus 300 on a fight because it's still a fight. Anything can happen. Anyone can get knocked out.
Sure.
Usman is probably the legit UFC GOAT. I've been betting him. Pretty much no matter what the line has been in one way, shape, or form, throwing him in a parlay. So I like Usman by decision. I don't think he's going to be able to knock Edwards out. Edwards is a very good opponent for him. And Edwards could potentially win on the points. I think Edwards is going to win a round or two, but I think Usman's going to be able to work in the wrestling, outland him on the feet, and win a close decision. So Usman by decision, that's like minus 110. That's definitely a bet. And then the rest of the card, if you're looking at it, it's just a ton of heavy favorites. So if anything, I'd be looking for underdog value, but there's really not much there. So Usman by points might be my only bet.
Awesome. There you all have it. So we appreciate you all tuning in. It is Friday night, so we're going to get to the weekend. Lots of preseason football, as you heard us discuss here, coming up. So we will be back Monday. So be tuning in to that. Obviously, follow us on Twitter. You can follow Steve. Right there is his Twitter name, at Steve P. Bets. And you can follow me at Mick Grosso. And then you can get any of our bets or any of our sports betting advice that we have to share with you over the weekend. You know how things can change between tonight and tomorrow. So you got to follow us, and we appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great weekend, everybody. Steve, thanks as always for joining me. And
Andre, hold on. Andre asked the question. Andre, I like it, but I would say be careful with Aldo. If anything, I would replace him with Gooden, with Jared Gooden over Santos. Way juicier, wouldn't be as good of odds, but Dvalishvili, he's a tough guy to fade. It's not a good stylistic matchup for Aldo. So as much as I like Aldo, I would avoid that fight.
Yes. And Sonny's in the house. What's up, Mike? What is up with you? He says, I'm late. Good luck this weekend, guys. You too, and Sonny, I follow you on Twitter. I know you follow me. So let's have some fun this weekend. Obviously, I'll share some plays. Sonny is a big time OddsJam supporter, and we appreciate all the tweets you put out, Sonny, about OddsJam and your success you're having. It's very awesome to see, man. And y'all need to definitely follow him and tail some of his OddsJam positive EV bets. So thank you all for tuning in. Steve, I will talk to you soon as well. Have a great weekend, and let's make some money, y'all.
And let's go Rory and Cam Young, 2 guys at the top of the odds board. Let's get that 10th outright of the season in the PGA. Back-to-back, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Peace.